why Quebec cinema is amazing. I'll shut up and let the actual filmmaker talk now. But
Look, I want to kind of pan back a second and take in this moment. And the moment I mean is like this year's Cannes. It's all Quebec representing Canada in Cannes, and it's a really Quebec moment, unlike in the last couple of years. And part of the reason why this is especially fascinating to me now is like I've especially been feeling the divide between Quebec and the ROC, as y'all call it,
yep,
right? Like
yep.
the especially in filmmaking terms, like
You know that one? Nobody here knows ROC. That's
I,
amazing that you heard that. Someone
only
told
because I
you.
have some Quebec filmmaker friends and stuff. Yeah, I get educated every so often. But no, I mean, but like I mean, I don't know if you guys saw like Red Room's Pascal Plante's movie.
Of
Like,
course,
how the fuck am I
spectacular
only
movie.
seeing that when the Americans claim it because it never
Yeah,
opened in theaters
yep,
outside of Quebec? And
yep,
this is a constant that there's all this Quebec filmmaking, and me as a
yep,
Canadian film critic am not getting access to this stuff because it doesn't
yep,
travel unless you're going to Cannes and then I'm chasing you to Cannes.
yep.
So I want to know, like, how are you experienced? I mean, Jay, you're practically, Quebec's ambassador to the ROC, or maybe that's the other way around. I don't know. How do you tell me? But like, how are you guys feeling that divide between,
Yeah, yeah, man, I gotta be careful because I could go on. I could give you a book about this. In fact, I'm writing something that touches on this shit. But yeah, man, I'll say this: that at every film festival and like conference in Canadian media, all of these things, people sit on a stage, and I was lucky enough to be invited, and every single time, people had just asked the same question: what's wrong with Canadian cinema, right? And I have been part of these conversations. I'm 43 and I've been having these conversations on stages in Canada since I was 20.
Mm,
And so I think that like there's two things wrong with that sort of question, because number one, that assumes that English Canada is Canada, and it is ignorant of everything that's been going on since the inception of the motion picture in Quebec. And it also is ignorant of the fact, it is ignorant of the fact that, to me, the pinnacle, rather, to me, of Canadian cinema is at Tenarjuat, the Fast Runner,
mm,
and that has nothing to do with either Solitude, right? Those guys sold their artwork to get broadcast equipment that we would take for granted as just like local news for local news beta camps, right? And they made the best movie that's ever come out of this country. And so I think to answer the question, you have to ask why you're asking that question. The question is the problem, man.
mm.
And I think that we in English Canada, which, by the way, I adore and participate in, and I'm a proud member of, even when I grew up in Quebec. But the thing I'll say is that we view ourselves through foreign eyes, and therefore we watch a disproportionate amount of foreign content,
Mhm.
which is especially dangerous because the particular foreign content that we watch a disproportionate amount of is in our language, and then we end up inevitably being in the knockoff gene business to some degree, right? And
Right.
and why Quebec cinema is amazing. I'll shut up and let the actual filmmaker talk now. But why Quebec cinema is what it is, and why it is so dramatically overrepresented in the world, is because of the coats of paint or the coats of grease on the cast iron, right? Like it's achieved an artistic maturity and confidence and a full flowing ecosystem where it's not limited to one genre. It is everything. And it is vital because it's what Quebecois people consume every day and it's part of their everyday lives, man. And they choose to curate it with that. And so, and we, for whatever fucking reason, not whatever reason, it's a few people that control the Canadian rights to American content. They have put up a wall, and it's been to English Canadian cinema's detriment.
Mhm.
I'll
That's
shut up now.